I guarantee 50% of the population is illiterate because of the fact they choose to be. Now, I may have came up with this statistic on the fly, but the further you go into this video, the more you understand just how crucial of a problem it is. While our generations have changed over the course of time and our vices have changed from magazines to phones, we've understood that there is a lot more new technology that can change lives for the better. With that said, however, we've also understood that there is a problem going on. With the rise of social media and AI, many issues linger in everyone's heads. Mental health is going down, addictions going up, bad habits going up, and good habits going down. Why is that the case if we live in the most peaceful and safest times in our life? Well, to simply put, we are not pushing ourselves hard enough, and therefore, we are not learning, aka we are not reading. The reason why reading is so crucial now more than ever before is the fact that we have so much value to give from the words coming from our eyes and mouth that we don't understand the value of it. In this video, I want to talk about that said value, discuss why more and more people are becoming illiterate, how AI and social media are contributing to that illiteracy, and what I mean moving into the future. Hello. If you don't know me, my name is Arnel Arcega. I'm one of the healthiest authors and writers on this platform. As such, I educate people on how to read and write so that they can not only improve their language, but also become a better, stronger, and healthier writer in the long run. If you want personal help, then check out my Instagram down the link in the description, as well as my books down there as well. Until then, let's talk about literacy, what it is, and how we can improve our own reading capabilities through this one action alone. Let's begin by talking about books. All the way back decades ago, books were the only source of information. Without computers, without phones, without any direct source of getting our sources, the only piece of evidence we had were books. Books were valuable in the fact that we can share knowledge from anywhere at any time. The ability to grab a book like How to Win Friends and Influence People, read it and thoroughly examine the information. It was all right there and at our fingertips too. It made us focus, made us diligent, and we were able to learn more, faster, and sharper. The only downside to books when considering its past was its importance. Books were valuable as a source of information for schools. Without the use of TVs or chalkboards for that matter, teachers taught through the literature gained from books, whether through English teachers' own lectures or math teachers' examinations of equations in paper. We do this by reading and by educating ourselves, and when we gather that information, it becomes easy to be that top student. However, people back then did not read because of the fact of its association with school. There were people reading fiction, like The Lord of the Rings. There were people interested in that craft of stories, and that's what kept books back, even for people who don't like studying, who don't follow the average crowd. And in short, books were the way of entertainment. As society grew, we had more and more advancements in technology. For instance, we had the start of radios, then we went up and created TVs, and eventually, by the early 2000s, we had phones. Books were used in the early 2000s as a way to garner information, similar to how it was back then. But this is the start of the problem. With phones, we had an instant touch to anything and everything. Paired with the online space, teachers can use this to look up information much faster and much sharper. At the same time, the average person can pull up images, look up things through Google, and feel the drive they're looking for. It's a cool, unique thing that is still powerful to this very day. And I am grateful for the internet for that. A lot of us take for granted what the internet is capable of, and being able to watch content like this to educate yourself and become a better human being, that is a beautiful experience no matter who you are or where you're from. And I just want to appreciate that before I start gloating and going on about the negatives of the internet space. From there, we move into the 2010s. As books remained relevant throughout the 2000s into the 2010s, more and more technology began to rise. We had the creation of social media apps, and then thereafter, we had the creation of AI. which takes us to the 2020s. While the 2010s can be summarized into books being just an average part of life, it isn't as important as it once was back in the 1940s, 50s, or even 60s. We know that books today have a different value with how accessible it is. Paired with that rise of phones and computers, we had audiobooks, we have ebooks, and this accessibility anywhere makes books easier now more than ever before. So that begs the question, why is more and more people becoming illiterate? In a study in 2023, Americans found that the average American spends less time on books than they are to scroll on their phone. For instance, I remember seeing that there was a 30% margin in which the average American reads, and that was back in 2023. Picturing it now as we enter 2026, I am certain that statistic is much higher, and I guarantee at least 50% of Americans don't read at all. I can see this in my own day-to-day life, as most people who are reading are elder or middle-aged men and women. We see this in our lives because of the fact that books are more of an alone time feeling. It always has been, but in the case of educating ourselves and spending our free time, books are less valuable now more than ever before. As important as it is, it doesn't have the same value as it once had. You don't need to search for information. You don't need to consume all that. When you have AI generated prompts here, pictures there, and sometimes it can maybe even type away the essay you were researching. That doesn't matter at all. And it saves a lot of time. I will give the benefit of the doubt that AI and social media saves more time than we can imagine. With that said, it also craves more time. It takes away our energy, and less of our time is used. When we look into what books mean, it is about the idea of doing something that you're not willing to do. You see, when we are surrounded by people who do not do the things we want to do, for instance, reading books, we don't see that at all. We don't see people reading, therefore it's not as valuable as we think. It's a lot like any hobby or any sport for that matter. If you're not interested in that field, then you shouldn't bother with it. But that's the problem with books. Books are accessible anywhere and everywhere. It's a lot like the modern phone, and the fact that even though books are not as useful as it once was, the information there is retained. It's still important to a certain degree. But because of how swamped our modern society is in phones and entertainment, we often forget about these things. We do not touch books, and sadly, many people, especially the youth, will not read as much as they should. AI, social media will continue rising as books will continue falling. I can go on and on about the negatives about not writing books, but the thing is, you come to this video for your own advice. You want to see that, yes, we are not reading, and this is a problem, especially huge in America. And I'm telling you, our youth is not going to get the information that they desire. It's all just filled with AI-generated prompts and not real human information written by people like Dale Carnegie. It makes me sad, to say the least, but there is a solution, and the solution is you. Yes, you, the viewer. You are the solution to this matter, as I can trace back the exact evidence we can get out of this. The problem with books is that they aren't shown as much as they used to. When we look at how people communicate, they are not having books in their hands. They're having phones for research. They're having laptops in front of them. And as I said, it gets answers much quicker, but that diminishes the product that is books. And therefore, if we want more people to read, we have to be different. To physically be different, you have to have a book in your hand, any kind of book for that matter, fiction, nonfiction, anything that gets the job done. When you open up a page and read it from start to finish, people will take notice of that. People will see you reading, spending time on getting that knowledge. And while books are often associated with nerdy things, anyone can read. Some of the greatest stories ever told are from untapped pages, or pages that have been left to rot in your own house. So pick up the book. Pick up what you are trying to read. I could go on and on about, yes, we are getting a vast amount of people to read, but it has to start small. And even for someone like me, I am one person. I am willing to give you the advice on how to become a better reader and a better writer. But if you want more people to stop scrolling, if you want more people to be less reliant on AI, then you need to be different. Some of the greatest people of all time had the desire to be different, and that desire led them to success. People envy that and they don't follow with it. But if you are watching this video, you know what success is like and you know what you're trying to build. If you want more readers, you have to be the foundation. You have to be the one who is willing to read in your free time. Everywhere you go, do this in public, do this in your own time. It's fun. It's like going to the gym. Not everyone does it, not everyone talks about it, but it should be on the same level. It's making us healthier, it's making our brains slow down to process stronger information, and in our own consistent lives, we have to be better as human beings. As I've said in my ranking videos of every book I read this year, it's all about what you take with you. And sometimes, while certain authors' messages may not linger, it's about the motion. It's about building the habits and being able to move yourself away from phones and screens. We may have all the information at the snap of a fingertip, but we're not happier. And this is a problem. You and me know this. And if we want more people to read, you have to be the change. I hope you enjoyed this short but straight to the point message. For you to start picking up a book, you have to read. Build this habit within your life and make it clear that you have the ability to do so. I do this a lot, especially in my mornings, as a way to get prepared and set up for the day. I also do this during my 5 to 9 period, which will determine your future. If you plan this well, then everything goes according to plan and the success is yours. Check out my Instagram down in the link in the description to write your own story. I guarantee I will help you write your own book and edit it thoroughly. Along with that, check out my own books down in the link in the description as well. I am Arnel Arcega, and until next time, keep on reading, keep on writing, and take care.